Hey, what's up, guys? First of all, really quick before we get into this, actually, I'm just gonna start this and I'll keep talking. So I'm gonna do a video for Sylvan deck vids, as you probably see, since you are gifted with the ability to read, most likely if you made it here. But on to more important stuff. So this was a really weird Sylvan build because it's my build, but hopefully over the course of this video you'll see changes in both the build and my playstyle, because I kind of fall into the newer Sylvan playstyle a little bit, because you see in the earlier vids I play it more like Legacy of the Valiant Sylvan, but really the way to play Sylvan after Primal Origins is much more aggressive if you want to see success. It's kind of passive aggressive, for lack of a better way to describe it, but you'll see that. But anyways, I'm sorry I haven't been uploading a lot of duel videos for you guys and stuff like that. I've been busy. It's always my excuse. So I don't actually play Blade Fender or Fallen Angel of Roses anymore, but I was just playing one of each in this build, so we'll still see them go to work, kind of. So that transmigration prophecy just told Grapha that it was not his day. Top deck that Tempest. I'm only playing 3 Dragon Rulers in this because I've chosen to play just 2 Martial Leafs rather than 3, making my total water count in the deck a meager 2. So, I mean, that changes how to go about playing the deck quite a bit when you're only playing 2 Martial Leafs, but I got Rulers in there, and I'm playing 2 Guardy Orcs to recycle my stuff, so it works out fine. And I'm main decking Transmigration Prophecy, as you already saw. But I don't know why this replay is going so slow. God, this is awful. It's still faster than Dueling Network, guys. Oh man, that place is awful. I found myself on that hellhole Dueling Network the other day, and it wasn't good. It was a bad time. Sorry if you didn't hear that last sentence. I was ducking underneath my desk to reach my desk lamps switch, turn that shit on. That was unnecessary swearing just then, but that's kind of the theme of my channel at this point: unnecessary swearing. So he gets to get in it with Valkyrus. As someone who played Fabled as his main deck for like 4 formats, I cannot help but get super frustrated by people who want to combine it with Dark World, because it's so much better if you just play it as is. But whatever, let him do his thing, I guess. See, I made that play, but what I really should have done is Miracle Fertilizer for the tree, then top deck a Martial Leaf, ditching the mushroom, use the tree to mill the Martial Leaf, pop Valkyrus, draw a card, run over Reagan, etc. Worked out fine for me, as you guys are going to see here in the very near future. And then he normal summoned Chawa. I don't know why the hell he did that. Martial Leaf gets in it. Just normal Chawa, and then it's his turn. Check 5, bitches. Well, the word is excavate now. Excavate 5. Oh god. This video is getting really long already. I'm sorry, guys. This is probably one of the longest duels that I didn't just like go off in, but I want to really show off all of them, not just the ones that I wrecked face in. So there you see that Sylvan Charity went to work. For those of you who don't know, Sylvan Charity is You draw 3 cards and you reveal 2 cards from your hand, including at least 1 Sylvan monster. And, okay, so there, that game ended. I'm sorry I even wasted your time with that, to be honest. So here's Sylvan Rulers versus Evilswarm. In my opinion, this was a pretty good game. It just, the Evilswarm player made a lot of mistakes that I was able to capitalize on. But that doesn't necessarily make him bad. I try not to call people bad over the internet anymore unless they're playing card choices where the cards have like no merit at all and stuff, or they're making misplays that are just so utterly hideous that they can't be called anything other than bad. But this dude, he did not fit those qualifications, so he's not bad, I guess. He just left himself vulnerable, and I was able to capitalize on that a lot. So I hit the P's on the Sage Koya. Normally you'd rather hit Sage Koya after you've got a Sylvan Speller Trap in your grave, but whatever. Now I wish there was an option when you miss an excavation to send it to the grave anyways, because then the hybrid with rulers would just be on another level. Peak checks the top, shows me a Marshall Leaf. That was actually straight luck right there, but let's call it skill anyways. So good. And so there's peak. Change that top deck again. Set the mushroom. I'm just gonna zap it back to my hand, but it's okay, because he's just got a freaking Mandragora, and that's it. Mandragora was originally actually just Mandrago, if I remember correctly. The aura was added in the TCG only, but I could be talking out my ass right now, so whatever. So, like I've already said, I don't know why this is going so slowly. I would speed it up, but I don't want my commentary to come out warbled. So, at this point, I would say he's in a very disadvantageous position. I didn't know what his sets were at the time, so I felt like pretty cool playing into them and having it work out for me. And the tree let me rearrange the top, and you don't really get to see what I did, but you'll see what I did based on what I draw and all that. So this burial from a DD became a DDR in layer builds. The tech DDR is working out really well for me, but of course burial from a DD is still a very good card and would be an equally viable candidate. It's a very political answer. Oh, I'm playing DDR, but if you want to play burial from DD, that's alright. So there's that Peacekeeper getting in it. Max C tells me that it's probably time to stop. Peacekeeper triggers because it's already on the chain. Rearrange my top deck with the tree and just call it done because I don't want to give this dude a bunch of draws. It's so easy to play around Max C in this deck. That Allure of Darkness, he's trying to get fresh shit. And that Vanity's Emptiness is going to make me sad for a little while, but not for too long. Safe Zone. I'm sure he feels like a cool kid now with his Safe Zone Ophion. You're not safe, my man. You're not safe. And I did not check the top deck with Mount Sylvania because I knew it was Sylvan Charity, of course, since I rearranged my top deck last turn. I'm going to draw my cards. And then, if you guys didn't notice, I put a mushroom on the top. So, I'll be popping that safe zone for free in the following end phase. Not until I collect my tokens, though. This video is already over 10 minutes long. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean for it to run, like, super fucking long, but I'm just trying to, like, actually show you guys the deck. I tried to only save videos where I didn't just fucking stomp on my opponent. So there are a lot of duel vids that are replays that I didn't save. I guess they're not replays because I never saved them. There's a lot of potential replays that I didn't save because I was not feeling too great about them potentially making me look awful. And also the fact that a lot of the ones I didn't save, I just like OTK'd, and like, you don't really need to see that much. I feel like I have at least one pseudo OTK in the duel vids that I do have saved. Maybe. But I haven't previewed any of these before we're watching them, so this is actually my first time rewatching any of these duels since I played them. So I'm probably going to make some plays that I don't remember. To be honest, guys, sometimes I'm going through these duel videos and I'm like, oh my god, why am I so terrible? And of course, sometimes I'm going through the duel videos and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm super pro. But both is a biased assumption. The Sylvan Guardiorc gets in it, put that tree on top. That way I can blast something next turn with Blaster. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Blaster gets in it. He chains the Pandemic. Makes me feel sad because I hit Pandemic. But if I had known that his other sets were Dress and Infection, I wouldn't have felt so bad for hitting the Pandemic. Sylvan Charity helps me out right there. Miracle Fertilizer is going to pick up the copy plant. I'm running something over with the tree because he has immunity from card effects due to Sylvan Blessing. So I figured if he had a set Mirror Force, Deep Prison, something like that, I'd rather run into it with the tree and have it be unaffected than make a Felgrand and have to use the material right away. So here I get the Felgrand. For those of you who don't know, Miracle Fertilizer does not destroy itself when you XYZ with what you summon with, because XYZ summoning does not make the materials leave the field by the traditional definition of what leaving the field is. So this guy's super afraid of my Felgrand, I guess. And here comes the Foolish Burial. Fertilizer is going to get me the level 7 plant for free. So here's where like the real plays start happening. And then I should have checked the top deck with the level 7 tree, but I didn't. And I guess this guy doesn't know that Dracosac protects itself when you have any token, and he scoops right there. So here I've got a duel versus the new Scraps. This guy had all kinds of protects going on. I really, really enjoyed playing this guy a lot. And I'm not just saying that because I'm looking back on it and I won, so I had fun. I've had plenty of duels where I lost, that they were fun. That's why you play Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Because, well, not because you like to lose, but because you enjoy playing the game in general. So at this point, I don't know what he's playing. He set one, I set one. Just kind of playing that, why don't you show me what you're playing first kind of game. And so there's that Scrap Factory, and of course I immediately know what he's playing once he does that. Scrap Worm. I did not realize that Scrap Worm was pretty good. And this card, Scrap Searcher, is fucking good. Honestly, like, if you wanted to, you could like Pro-Tech Icarus attacks if you were playing multiple copies of Scrap Searcher, and that is pretty funny. Well, at least it's kind of funny to me. So here goes that Searcher going off. As you can see, it just keeps coming back, which is beautiful. Here comes that Scrap Twin. So that's his mistake number one right there, is making Scrap Twin. So the Mushroom checks the top 5. It looks like I just hit an Orc. So the Orc's not going to be able to do anything other than hang out down there. But it's okay. So I'm thinking to myself, I don't want this dude bouncing 2 cards. So if I remember correctly, all I did was set Mushroomo again and pass. But I may have played it differently. Yeah, I don't want this dude making me bounce 2 with a Scrap Twin. So of course you should all know from the very beginning, when I saw that Scrap Twin, I was planning on taking it with Big Eye. So when that happens, don't act surprised. So check 5 again, hopefully have better luck this time. I really don't remember what my hits were every single time. Mill 1 of each tree, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. And that's really the setup that I need, because I'm already holding Miracle Fertilizer and a Blaster. And so there's the rank 7 play right there. Miracle Fertilizer, guys, is the truth. Like, you don't even know. I've been saying that about freaking every card I play. DDR is the truth. Freaking Sylvan Charity is the truth. I need to stop saying that. So here comes this dude doing scrap things. But I'm not worried about it, because I plan on taking his Scrap Twin. And his Scrap Twin is going to go to work. There's that Scrap Dragon. Alright guys, let's do it. Miracle Fertilizer, get myself a Sage Koya. Blaster comes out to play. Do I check the top deck? Nope, forgot to check the top deck again. So there's a misplay right there. Didn't really hurt me any. And I'm going to destroy my set Sylvan Blessing and bounce his field spell and his Scrap Dragon back to the deck. No, back to the hand. Doesn't matter. This dude's not in a good position anymore because of me doing this to him. Just guys, you don't... If you ever get a chance to play Big Eye, like, from that point on, you start judging decks based on whether they can make Big Eye. He's that powerful. So play the Charity, just to go ahead and get that going. Play Mount Sylvania over his field spell, and ditch the Dandelion to top deck the level 7 tree. I'm going to go ahead and destroy one of my tokens to bounce 2 of his cards. Because a Scrap Twin Dragon is really good. And he goes ahead and quits right there. Looks like I've got a game versus Fire Kings and a game versus Mermails. And hopefully I can fit this all into one video. But if not, then I'll just split it as appropriately, I guess. So here comes Mount Sylvania, ditch the level 7 tree to top the level 8 tree. Ditch Sage Koi, top Hermit tree. I don't know if Sage Koi is going to keep his name, because none of the other dudes kept their names when they came to the TCG. As you may know, Komushruma was Stulette, and and Martial Leaf was Leaflo. Hermitry was No Senju Regia, and etc. Outside was something weird. Shinrai no Morigami Outside, or something like that. Maybe with a little bit less of a fake Japanese accent, perhaps. But the sentiment stands. So there's that tech DDR, as you guys can see, doing so much work, except for not doing any work. But that's okay, because I just top decked Sylvan Charity. And as you guys know, Sylvan Charity is the truth, as I have previously stated. So, obviously, you guys know, if you've ever played against Fire Kings, they have to be very careful about possibly triggering their effects if you can't deal with Garunix right away. And for that reason, I elected not to run over his dude. Mount Solania checks the top, reveals the Guardiorc. Go ahead and put that level 8 tree on the top. I'll be drawing him and using him to change the top deck again. But first, let's go ahead and make sure that I have the mushroom ready to go. Probably should have changed the top deck first, but whatever. It worked out fine. Putting that Sage Koya on the top because I want to use Charity again. Bad breakthrough skill though. And he did not run into my mushroom this time, which was smart. But I still got to hit Sage Koya for free because Mount Sylvania is the nuts. And we've got an incoming Garunix, as you guys can see. I'm going to go ahead and skill that because I definitely want to excavate 5 this turn to try and deal with that. Thinking to myself, I want to get off this Cone Mushroom out, and I'm going to stack it with Charity. So I go ahead and don't do that because that would make too much sense. But I hit a mushroom anyways, so it's alright. I'm going to get that circle and zap that shit. And there's Blaster. Down to the bottom for him. You ain't no plant. Guardiorc puts the tree back on top. I'm gonna draw that shit, but it's totally alright. Because I'm gonna put it back. And there's my Lone Fire Blossom. And Lone Fire Blossom is a beast who does not give any fucks. Change that top deck with Mount Sylvania to the peas. Mill the peas, get a free card. More peas. Eat your vegetables, guys. So then here comes the Sage Koya and the Lone Fire Blossom. And if you guys don't already see where this is going, then, well, I don't really know what to tell you. Check the top with the Sage Koya and actually hit something. Feel like a boss right there. There comes Crimson Blader, because Crimson Blader don't give no fucks. And Crimson Blader says, I better not see that fucking Garunix next turn. And he scoops, because he's not going to be able to handle that. And I got one more, guys. Bear with me. For those of you that have already left, well, I don't have anything to say to those people. For those of you who are still here, rather, thanks for sticking with me. And I'm glad that this deck interests you enough that you have elected to stay. So normally I hold my Foolish Burial until I know exactly what I want down there. because this is one of those decks where the contents of your grave could be radically different from one turn to the next. And because of that, I want to make sure that I make smart decisions about what to put in the grave. So I'm going to excavate 5. Right now, I got that face down bottomless and Abyss Sphere to deal with, and Abyssland. And really, guys, I mean, you should know this, but ultimately playing Sylvan comes down to a little bit of luck, because obviously, like, if you're not hitting the plants, then you're not going to have a good time. But that can be mitigated largely with good deck building, because if you build your deck correctly, you're going to hit the plants. You're just going to, because you're going to play enough that you hit them. But on this one, as you can see, I got a pretty lucky drop. I knew the Sage Koya was on top because I put it there with Charity, along with the other Sage Koya. But hitting 2 mushrooms when he had 2 back row was really good. So there goes that. Charity dig in there. And then the fertilizers can give me the level 7 tree. So I'm pretty sure most of you guys can probably see the rank 7 play coming in. I mill that Sage Koya, get that Charity back again. I can't use it again this turn, but I've got it on standby for next turn. Redox banishes Guardiorc and Tempest searches the one dragon that I play other than the Dragon Rulers, which is of course Debris Dragon, as you can see. I'm thinking to myself, I want to be able to pop whatever he gets with Dracosac, if it's something that's going to bother me a lot. Main phase 2, go ahead and make my Dracosac. And pop his shit, and it's at this point that I decide I know what I want to Foolish Burial. And so of course I Foolish Burial the Dandelion to have 3 tokens, because 3 tokens are better than 1. And I would say right now I'm in a pretty secure position, especially with that set breakthrough skill. That set breakthrough skill, guys. Breakthrough skill has become like one of my personal staples. I put 2 in freaking everything ever since I started playing it last format and realized how good it is. And it's about to save my ass, as you guys can probably see coming up. This guy's, I mean, he's not doing bad. He's making the plays, doing the Mermail things. But ultimately, it just doesn't matter, because I've already established such a board. And I'm pretty sure this guy is one of the many other people that does not know Dracosac, does not care what type of tokens you have. So here comes the big eye. And there it is. I activate Save My Skin, and that's exactly what happens. And he sets that Abyss Sphere, which we all know is Abyss Sphere, because nobody's gonna set anything else in that deck. Play that Sylvan Blessing for in case it's something other than Abyss Sphere, and get the tree out. And by topping the mushroom. So there goes the mushroom. He's gonna pop a card. It's okay though, because I still have Dracosac ready to go. I still have all the things, and I still have my normal summon and Miracle Fertilizer. Well, or Miracle Fertilizer, I should say, because you can't do both. So here comes Abyss Turge. Gets that Goond back, drops the Heavy Infantry, and pops my Miracle Fertilizer. And I say, I'ma run your shit over. Main phase 2. I don't play the Sylvan Charity, I think, because I didn't want to change the top deck first. And then maybe I play the Charity? I don't know. Probably not, because I can just mill the tree next turn. Yeah. So I've got my 4 token Dracosac ready to go. He's already played Big Eye, and most people only play one. So that's the end of that. And that's literally all he had. Build a tree. Um, I say the tree, but there's two different trees in this build, so probably should use less ambiguous language. So then just play the charity because YOLO, and it worked out fine. And smack this dude right in his stupid face for 2,600. And the video is over 30 minutes long, so I am sorry about that, guys. And let's just see what this dude does. There's peas, like a boss. Pop and set warnings every day. Orc to the top because I need some recycle. I say, hey, check out this orc. And I draw a blaster, and that's really where the dragon rulers come in, is you just kind of draw them from the tree, or draw them naturally, of course. When you excavate them, that kind of can be frustrating because, you know, they're going to the bottom instead of to the grave like you want them to. But I only play 3 rulers, and it's working out really well for me. So, whatever. So this is actually a pretty typical duel for me. I was trying to save videos against meta, but it's really hard when you're just playing randoms. So I played the bottomless because I saw he ditched marksman, and marksman was going to pop it if I didn't play it. And I guess the guy just scooped because you're not going to do anything with gores and a Atlantean heavy infantry. It's just not a thing. He could have made title, but the best he could have done would have been run over my 1 Mecha Phantom Beast token, so I can't pop something with Draco Sack without tributing it. But that's all, guys. This video is going to take fucking forever to render. If I can, it's going to be 1 part. If I have to, it'll be split. Thanks for watching. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'm out.